So, if I were to ask you guys what you thought people feared the most, this is a couple times we've tried this. We've talked about ghosts, fire, insects, love, and change. And we heard ghost and we heard change. And in fact, the answer to that question is change. If you look at those things, people fear change the most. Reason being is if you're scared of clowns, you don't watch scary movies or don't go to a haunted house, right? You don't like insects, you stay indoors. Change is going to be a part of your life regardless of what you try to control and what you don't. So just this last week, I celebrated my 20th anniversary with my employer, and nearly 17 of those years I've been involved in leadership. And so if you were to look at leadership and leadership responsibilities, the primary responsibility that I always have is either leading people or groups of people through change. So you guys have probably heard of the acronym SARA. You guys have heard of SARA before? No? So the 5 stages of change. SARA is the acronym, which is shock, anger, resistance, acceptance, and hope. Shock and anger are typically those first initial kind of raw emotions. Acceptance and hope is once you've understood it, understand its value, buy into it, and you're committed to making it be successful. Resistance is the one that people get stuck in the most. And so Harvard Business Publishing put out some information a few years ago talking about why people fear change so much, right? So 1, change is really hard. 1, it disrupts your life. Sometimes people have fear that they don't have the competence or knowledge to be able to operate in the future state whenever they've been doing it on a regular basis. So there's a lot of logical reasons as to why people fear change. There's a gentleman named Tim Notster who put together an article back in 1991, and it's a model around managing large organizational change. And so that's what I have in front of you guys. And if you'll flip this over, what he talks about is in order to manage change, there are 5 key things that are needed. And so I want to talk you guys through that process and then show you how you could use this tool to help lead yourself or other people through change. And to Notster, he says, in order for you to successfully implement change, you need to understand the vision, you got to have the skills, you got to know the incentives, you got to have resources to be successful, and you got to know the plan. Those are the 5 key components in order for you to lead successfully through change. What's great about this model, though, is he lets you know if any one of those components are missing, what either behavior or feelings other people have. So, for example, I was thinking about this, and so, Yun, I know you're a school teacher, and you probably have parent-teacher conferences, right? And so when I look through this, and I look at if you have a parent that shows up, and if you look on the right side, you'll see anxiety. If you have a parent who shows up that is anxious, what that's telling you is more than likely, if you look over on this, they're concerned that their kids don't have the skills to be successful, right? Bryn, you're on the school board, and so you guys have to drive change through community as a whole, right? And so if you have parents who show up who are concerned, and what you see is serious resistance, chances are what it is they don't understand the incentives. And we talk about incentives like, what's in it for me? What's in it for my child? And so what's really cool about this process is that he lined out is there's many tools that are out there, and this is one that you can use, but as you're leading either students or parents or going through change at work or at school, whatever it might be, you can look through this, see the emotions, see the reactions, see the feelings that people are having, use this chart, pinpoint down what skill set it is that they're probably more than likely missing, and that allows you the opportunity to zero in and teach them and help get them through those stages, get them closer to acceptance and get them to hope. So change is going to be in every part of your life. You're never going to get away from it. People around you are always going to be concerned about what's going on. Just recognizing 1, change is normal. It's always going to be a part of life. So you're not unique or different from that. But what you can do is you can learn best practices and processes that'll help you manage how you feel, as well as other people to help get them from where they're at to where you need them to be. So, thank you guys.
Cool.